What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Run It Up multi-tabling madness week. That's right. Starting out today playing two tables on ultimatepoker.com. I have a table on the left here, which is a 25-cent, 50-cent table. Table on the right, which is a 50-cent, $1 table. Starting out today with $874 in the bankroll after running up to D Moon week. So I'm going to hopefully do some running up to any stellar object. Sounds fine to me. We'll see if that will happen today. My plan is to play these two tables for, I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe a little bit more. We'll see how it goes, develop some reads. I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on the poker stuff today, more on the actual challenge itself. Let's try to win some money. Let's try to add some money to the chest of gold over here. So we'll see if we can get that done on the left over there. Actually, a pretty reasonable flop for us to win the pot on, all things considered. When this guy leads out for 50 cents, you know, obviously calling is not the greatest thing, but we are getting a very good price, so calling is not terrible. Raising is also seems fine. You could raise to like $3.50, $4. But in my experience, when people make these little donk bets like this on flop, they tend to not fold. And I think calling just seems okay. If he bets pot, if he does anything on turn, I think we just can pretty safely fold now. We are making some pretty terrible mistakes if he has a hand that isn't a king. We very rarely have the best hand here on the turn, but I feel like we are drawing dead sometimes. I guess we're not drawing dead that often. At this point, if he bets more than 50 cents, I'm just folding. If he bets 50 cents, I even could not call that one either. On the turn, I mean, obviously if he has a king, we're drawing stone dead, but if he doesn't have a king, we're getting 15-1. So it's probably a pretty bad mistake to fold on the turn, I think, especially since there's no real reason to say he has a king. All he did was limp call pre and then just bet out 50 cents twice. So I think against this player, I'm going to try to start with better hands and then just try to kind of charge him, I guess. I mean, players that typically do those sort of things tend, in my opinion, to be the kind of guys that like to just kind of like hang on, you know? They just pull out their little claws. It could be cat claws very easily. And they just dig in and just hold on. So against those guys who really like to just not let go of hands, you really want to kind of just find the powerful hands that dominate the wide range that they're playing and then just charge them. That's right. Charge them your exorbitant fees. Table charge, boys. I actually think that we could fold here. I think that would be reasonable, but I think raising is okay as well. Not a play that I would do always, but I think specifically, given that we know that this guy is does not seem to be a top professional, I think raising here is all right. Let's see what happens. I'm not automatically continuing on every flop. I think I'll check on some flops, but we'll have to see. He does just let it go, which is not shocking to me at all. Pretty sure, given that this guy has $8 and cold called us pre-flop, I have a feeling this guy is not really going anywhere. You know, I don't think if we bet $2 or $3 or $4 here, he's too likely to fold. This is the kind of board that's going to connect very often with the kind of hands that are cold calling, especially one also from the blind. You know, once again, we're getting a really good price. This is like pot odds, the pot odds video, I guess. But I think we still are going to just fold. I'm not feeling good. Even if an ace turns, you know, I'm not feeling great about it. We lose to ace 10, ace 8, ace 6, ace jack better. And obviously turning a 4 is no good. On the right table here, I'm going to just call here with the ace 9 of spades. This is a perfectly good hand. He probably thinks I'm opening very widely from the button, and I am. And ace 9 suited is definitely good enough to call the raise. On this flop here, I am probably going to just fold. You know, we make some mistakes against like king, queen, ace 4, ace 5, you know, just random hands that decided to raise. But I haven't seen him raise once pre-flop yet, so I have no reason to disbelieve him at this point. Pretty bad flop for us, all things considered anyway. If we had a spade, you know, if you could have made me arguments to continuing, but I don't think that particular one was a very good spot to continue. Going to raise king 9 offsuit on the right table, four-handed, seems okay. On the left table, I raised with queen jack offsuit under the gun. Got called by this guy, and then this fellow, the slutty nurse, whose name is I Love Balls, decides to make it 250. All right, let's call it. I guess that's what we'll do. So I am a little concerned here because, you know, this guy could definitely have a really big hand. But given that he has $11 and there's only $8 in the middle, I don't think we're going to do much besides get it in here. I'm going to bet out 250 for the hopes of maybe making this guy make a mistake and fold a hand that he otherwise shouldn't. And then I guess we'll just, it doesn't matter what we do with this guy. Whether we call or shove now, I don't think it Really makes a difference no matter what. I do believe him that he very easily could have aces or something, which I guess is why the best reason is to call, turn a card that might be scary, and then shove. But it really doesn't matter what he's doing. We could have check called all in. We could have, all right. I guess he didn't have aces, but the good news is didn't matter. By the way, I didn't actually say, but I'm in for the standard buy-in at both tables. I lost a little bit on this table. I think what happened was I defended Jack 10 offsuit in the big blind, like the very first hand that I posted before I was ready to get the recording started. And I flop came against this guy. I came Jack 10 deuce with 2 hearts, and I check raised, and he called. Turn was an ace, and I check called, and then the river was a what was the river? The river was a king, and I went check, and he had a king jack, and he won that. So that was how I lost like $15 there, and I don't know what happened to the rest of it. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Hopefully we'll get it back. So we're stuck $27 on this table, up 10 on this table, so stuck 17 right now, but ain't no thing. I am very curious to know what you guys think about this video. Obviously, the whole format is a little bit different. I did a bunch of experimenting with these multi-tabling formats when we did live streams a little bit earlier in the year, and I like the 2-tabling format. I think there's a pretty good diversity, a pretty good balance there of poker and nonsense. That beautiful formula of nonsense to poker ratio that makes Run It Up so beautiful. I think these multi-tabling videos have a good mix of that, but we'll see. And I'd love to hear your feedback. Let me know in the comments below here, or obviously on Twitter. You can look at the beautiful at Jason Somerville Twitter. It's calling you right there. You can just let me know on Twitter and be like, yo, JCarvers, love the multi-tabling madness. Keep it up. That would be great. And you'll get what you want. I respond to what you guys do. Only the first block of this season is going to be pre-recorded. When I get back from my travels, I'll have plenty of time to adjust and to fine-tune. That's right, like a high-class piano. I'll be able to fine-tune the Run It Up machine to be exactly as you guys want. So let me know. You can't get what you want if you don't ask. It's true. Unless you're dealing with mind readers, I guess. Good. Real strong life advice here from JCarvers. That's right. I'm going to just fold the 4-8 offsuit there. Interesting that this guy limp and snap called, although I guess it's certainly fine. My plan for this multi-tabling madness week, my plan is to start with these 2 tables, see how this works. If this works out fine and good and I feel comfortable with this, my plan is to add a 3rd table. And if that works out well and fine and good, my plan is to add a 4th table. And that in these 2, 3, and 4 tabling sessions, I'll kind of give you guys a little bit of a chance to look into like how I would play a normal multi-tabling session. One which I would play, high stakes and like 4 tables, something like that. So you'll get a little bit of a glimpse into like what a normal session of mine would be like when I would play online. We'll have some more poker to talk about. We'll obviously be playing more than twice the hands per hour, if that's what we end up doing with multiple tables and stuff, which I think is the plan. And with any luck, we'll be able to actually win money, because the more hands we play, theoretically speaking, the more money we should be making. So let's see if that works out to be true this week. Pretty good hands on both tables here. You're going to make it a full 3x on the button here on the right table, because this guy's got a lot of money, so I don't really want to min raise, that doesn't seem like the right play. On the left table, we re-raised out of position with ace queen offsuit, flopped a gut shot and 2 overcards. Just won that pot, no big deal. Over to the cat avatar with all the money, who just asked for a time bank, not sure what the heck to do. Decides to call. That's cool. That's cute and cool. I'll be betting on this flop here. Pretty good flop for us, all things considered. I am not sure what all this tanking nonsense means. I assume he's just not paying attention. $4. That's right. If he check raises us here, I'm just going to be calling. You could say, oh, JCarver, why don't you raise? Well, you could raise. I feel very confident that I have the best hand on the flop here. If he's check raising us with hands like 10-9, we have 10-9 in such bad shape, it is unreal. If he has 10-9, drawing dead to a jack is obviously a good card for us, and a 6 is hard to find. King on the turn is pretty brick city for us, there's not too many hands he should have that have kings in them. Think about what kind of hands he has. King 8, King 7. King 7 already has beat, so King 8 is really the only hand that makes sense. Ace King, King Queen. So I feel pretty confident betting here twice and letting him try to figure out things to call us with. Over on the left table, we raised on the button with ace king, and the small blind called. And now the small blind is leading, which I'm not really sure what that means, but because he's betting for the minimum, we can definitely peel here. I think we have a good enough price to call in position. Obviously, if we turn an ace or a king, we'll be the happiest we could be, but I am still probably not folding on this card. Even if he had bet more than $1, and $1 is not the correct bet size here, no matter what he has, $1 can't be right, because we're making no mistakes with whatever it is we have. If he has a 9 or a 7, he wants to bet more and get value for his hand, and if he doesn't have a pair, he wants to bet more so we can actually maybe fold pairs once in a while, which we just can't for $1. So I think his sizing is not great here, but here we are on the river. I don't think it matters what he does. I don't think it matters what he bets or whatever it is. There's no way we're folding. I don't think there's much value in raising either because, if we raise this river, what does he call us with? Does he call us with pocket queens? Does he call us with king, queen of clubs? I can't have that. Does he have, what can he have that he can call with? I don't think there's very many hands. He does have flushes sometimes. He does have 2 pair or sets sometimes, but no way we can fold having rivered the king. Boom. Look at that. Sweet, sweet profit. 60 cents profit. Holla. That's right. We should just wrap it up right this minute. 68 cents in a dream. All right, I guess we're back to being down right now. So let's see if we can win this hand with the 4-5 of blue over on the left over here. Over to you're in danger. Probably not the real you're in danger, but hey, times could be tough. Maybe just, I forget which of the Dang brothers was you're in danger versus, I think Trex was... Actually, I don't know which one was which, to be honest, but I think they're probably not playing 50 cent. 50 cent is my guess. Boom. Flopped the world. He knew it somehow correctly, decided not to get involved. There you go. A whole new variety of people I've never seen before. I've never seen Swelly Belly or Hall That or this DeBello guy either, I think. Going to fold on the right table here against the J Left on the... and the button and the big blind there. When players out of the big blind make that raise, the squeezy raises, I like calling a lot, but you don't really want to call with hands like king 8 offsuit because a lot of the hands he raises with are like what? You have to ask yourself, what are the hands he's raising with? Assuming he's a normal opponent. We haven't really seen anything out of him to really decide he's anything besides a normal opponent, right? So what are the kinds of hands he raises with? He has hands like ace king, kings, aces, queens, king, queen suited if he's like being a little bit on the feistier side, but still sticking with value hands. Those hands don't treat king 8 offsuit all that well. So I think folding there makes some sense. Let's make it 250 here on the button with 7-8 offsuit. On the left table, we had completed with Jack 8 in the small blind, and I believe that the first player posted. So I'm going to lead out here with what I believe is the best hand. We'll see what happens about that. Still believe I have the best hand unless something changes here. So we could actually not have the best hand because this guy could definitely have hands that have 6s in them. I'm going to start with a check. I'm definitely not folding on the turn immediately. He could have hands like 10-9, which we still beat, worse 8s, 7s, some 5s, other kinds of things. Him checking back on turn makes me feel like he probably doesn't have a 6. He could have some 10s in his hand, 10-9. Those hands are not folding now. We could try to value bet this and see if he can call us with like a 7 or a worse 8. But I think that's a little ambitious. There aren't really any worse 8s, 8-3, 8 deuce, 8-9, I guess. There aren't really many worse 8s. I did feel like we had the best hand, though. On the right table, I bet flop and then gave up the rest of the way. I guess there's a chance he might fold this, but I don't really think that he's folding any ace-high hands. Certainly not folding hands better than that, so I don't think he's folding ace-queen there. I love multi-tabling madness week. There's so many things going on. This is only 2 tables. Just wait. I'm sure by the time we get to, if I do as I think we will do, which we'll do like 2 sessions like this, 2 tabling. We'll do 2 or 3 sessions. I don't want to promise episode numbers because, anything can happen here and run it up. Who knows what the heck might happen. But we have 2 episodes of 2 tabling. It'll probably be 2 or 3 episodes of 3 tabling and then 2 or 3 episodes of 4 tabling. And that'll be our multi-tabling madness week. Also, as I'm sure many of you have noticed by now, I don't really subscribe to like human weeks. Like D-Moon week was 5 days. Multi-tabling madness maybe like 9 days or something like that. It's whatever. It's like birthdays are more like, birth weeks and, whatever. It's all, whatever. It's weeks are not really. Who said a week had to be 7 days? I contest. I contest that. Let's see if we'll also have any hands to contest. Otherwise, I'll just hang out. Whatever. Look at all these beautiful logos around me on both sides. Oh my God. Look at the hat even. Oh wow. We're just whoring it up today. This is big slutty Somerville over here. Your guide for the day. Even 2 tabling. Look, we have no hands for like 40 minutes. This is crazy. I think for when there's dead time like this, I should learn how to knit for cameras. So I just sit here and me just like relax by the fire. I just chill out, break out like my needle and thread, and just start working on like a run it up scarf or something like that. That's maybe that'd be a good use of this time in between hands. Well, after all that waiting, I don't see how I can fold now with a hand as beautiful as king and 8. Got ourselves position. That's nice. Happy that occurred. So we bought ourselves absolute position in this hand. Happy about that. Pretty good flop for us. This pre-flop raiser. It's way more likely that we have aces, kings, queens, or jacks than our opponent does. Given that he did not raise pre-flop, gonna start the bet. I think $2 seems about right. Let's see what he wants to do about that. No, thank you. Thank you. Well, our half stakes table is now beating our 50-cent $1 table. Now has less money on it than the table, the quarter $half table. So that's cool. Bet seems okay. I feel like checking is all right, but I feel like ace-8 could definitely be the best hand here. If we check and one of the bets, we don't know what to do. Like we would much rather be the hammer than the nail. So that's why I felt like betting there would make sense. Also, if we get called, we're not even that worried about it because what kind of hands do these guys have? They got like one pair, better ace highs. I'm not impressed. We'll get those hands out of here by the river, I think. At least sometimes. We have to at least try. Gonna fire out one bet here on the flop. Probably gonna shut down unless we spike the 10 ball because, I mean, obviously a 7 is basically the same thing. I'm gonna bet here twice for value. Obviously, sometimes I'm just giving him money when he has a better hand than me, which does happen. He has queens and better 10s every once in a while. Ace 10 of diamonds, king 10 of diamonds, stuff like that, but not this time. Very good decision of turn cards there, Ultimate Poker. That's right. 10 of clubs. Boom. All right, back to sweet profit land. We were in for 150 across the tables. We're up a little bit on that right now. But I want to have a big win. Let's have a big win. We were almost at 1K. We actually were over 1K at one point in run up to D-Moon week. And then I don't know what happened there. We had some PLO troubles. We had some interesting decisions at the D-Moon piloting solo session. I don't know. You give the damn steering wheel for one episode and 1 week, and who knows what the heck might happen. But it was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed running up to D-Moon week. We'll have Daniel back on the show for sure later on in September. So stay tuned for that. If you want to see anybody else on the show, I'd love to hear ideas. I'd love to hear ideas, and they're even better when you like tag them on social media. Because if you go, oh, I'd really love to see, I don't know, Phil Ivey is a great example. It's not gonna be like, oh, hey, I'm gonna just text my buddy Phil, and be like, hey, Philly boy, my Run It Up Warriors really want you to come on by Run It Up. So, get your ass over here after you're done playing craps over at Aria or whatever. That's not how it works. But if you tag Phil Ivey and go, hey, yo, Phil Ivey, go on Run It Up. We'll make it a brand free zone, or we'll even up, we'll make it like Switzerland over here. I'm fine with that. We take some brands down, we put some logos up, we make everybody equal and happy. You guys can make it happen. You guys are the lava that makes the Run It Up planet, You shape your own worlds, bro. Whoa. The guys out there with the big volcanoes right now are like, whoa, you do shape your own worlds. That's right. We have a little something for everybody. We got some knitting in there for the elderly crowd, the 80 and over female demo that's just really keeping Run It Up alive. We had some of that in there, and then, we got ourselves a diversity of things going on here. And multi-tabling. What more could you guys want? I don't know. And this seems like the Run It Up dream. The only issue is because when I multi-table, I have to use an entirely different setup than as far as like recording setup than when I normally record. And I've now got my normal recording process down to like a science, and there's not a timer on this software. So I don't know what the heck time this episode started, but I'm gonna have to just do it by feel. I'm going to just have to feel when we're at like that 30-minute mark and just wrap it up for this session. It's fine. My life is so difficult. Am I right, people? You're right, JCarves. Sing it, sister. Oh, thanks for your support, kids. Appreciate that. Let's raise under the gun with our ace deuce. It's too bad we're not playing live poker, because in live poker, I would peel the ace and be like, ace, no across. Could be aces. I'm sure like 90% of you don't know what I mean by that, but I've talked about it a little bit before. But hello. That looks like it's the deuce and the deuce to go with my deuce, and there are two contenders to potentially pay us off. That is cool as heck. Let's see what happens here. Nana Grace over there, maybe doing some knitting herself, possibly. I'm going to start with the bet. Obviously, this is not like a flop that I'm like super thrilled to be like. Obviously, I'm betting for value, obviously. But I don't want to bet too much here because I want to encourage these guys to stick around with as marginal of holdings as possible. If either one of these players calls with a hand like King Queen, that hand is drawing basically dead against me. So I don't want to bet too much, but I also don't want to check because, you know, I'm betting everything. It's a deuce 5 flop. Anything I raise pre-flop is going to get bet on that flop. So I don't want to let them down and not do that, you know, even though obviously it's fine to create strategies that will let you be exploited in the long run in order to win more in the short run. But I'm starting with a bet on a deuce 5 flop. If they both folded, they probably weren't going to give us much more money anyway. Even if we did check back, I mean, it would be probably not the winningest play in the longest of runs. In this hand, I believe this player raised bet flop. We flopped a backdoor flush draw and a 3 flush. Those things are cool with me. Let's see a turn card. We're getting 3-1 in position. An 8 might be good. A club would be cool. Even like a deuce might be the best hand for us. And every once in a while, he'll just check on turns and let us just win, which would be awesome. Given that we turned a club, we could call. I think calling is okay, but I feel like blind versus blind, there's not really any huge reason to believe this player is strong. So I like raising here. I feel like there's a decent chance he'll fold better than 8 high sometime. I mean, surely he will. If he jams on us, I feel like our hand is obviously not in good shape at all. He almost for sure has us drawing dead to a club, and maybe not even that. Sometimes he has our clubs dominated as well. He goes into the time bank. This is it. This time, get out the thing. I actually don't know how to knit, by the way, in case that was a surprise to any of you. Interesting river card. So, this is actually very interesting. If he has a king, there's no way he is folding. No way he is folding. We could have some kings, though. We could have some full houses for sure. Let's bet 42. I like that. Actually, maybe... Yeah. Well, the good news is, if I had shoved, we would have lost another 13. When I bet 42, I was like, maybe I should have bet like either a little bit less, closer to half pot, or just shoved. And then it wouldn't have made a difference against his exact hand being king deuce. I mean, when we raise turn, he has to fold a good percentage of the time. Obviously, we're risking 21 to win. Well, we're never folding, right? So we're either calling 6 or we're risking this extra 15 more to win whatever it was in the pot on the turn. And I feel pretty confident that that's going to work out for us in the long run, right? Like on the turn for sure is fine to raise, although I think calling is all right as well. There's really no reason not to raise turn, in my opinion. He's definitely going to fold better than 8 high. You know, he might call with hands that are like queen jack or other straight draws, things that believe they are beat by us, but would call anyway. This is a good flop for us here on the left table. So when the river pairs the board, there aren't really too many hands that are improved by that, right? If he has like if he has a low 2 pair, he might just check fold right then and there because he goes, heck, you know, what can I do? My 2 pair has been counterfeited by the king or whatever. So if he was playing 2 pair slowly, that's now been counterfeited on the river, so we have to bet to get that hand to fold. If he has queen jack, ace jack of clubs, you know, if he had a better draw than us, we have to bet to get that hand to fold. So I believe we should definitely be betting on the river there. The question is how much. I think all in versus 42 doesn't make a big difference. I think maybe though half pot is better. We still fold all the no pairs. We still fold out, you know, a lot of like the weaker hands. The kings still won't fold no matter what we bet. So I think I maybe bet a little bit too much, but I don't mind it. On this left table here, I can't see how we're going to fold this hand. I mean, I'm just slow rolling this guy, I think, because I haven't talked about the hand yet. So I believe I raised, got called by everybody, bet flop, got called by just this guy, and then he bet out turn and river, which is a weird line, but there's no way we can fold it. You know, I had no intention of ever folding that hand to that guy, but I just wanted to talk about it before I called, so you guys were caught up. Call. I will reload on this table here. We are currently down 90, up 50, so we're down 40 right now. That's sad, but don't worry. Don't worry. We got this, bro. All right, I'm going to ship this on the button with my 11 big blinds, like tournament poker over here. I'm all in. Ace 3. All right, so I'm going to buy in for another 80. Oh, let's see if we win this hand, I guess. It's a good one. Good flop for us. Ooh, good turn for him. All right, give us the full hundo. Give us the full hundo. Full hundo, please. All right, not much you can do about that. So we're in for a 250 total, and we have 200 on the table, so we're stuck 50 right now. I could open this. I'm going to be a knit and fold. I guess I should have opened. I mean, it's a slightly winning open for sure. Okay, on the left table here, I limped and he checked. I'm going to start out with a bet. Seems like we have the best hand. If he had an ace, he probably would have raised us pre-flop. Obviously, he could have an 8, but I'm not really worried about that. There's no reason to think he has an 8 just yet. This is going to be great. We're going to win 2 buy-ins at the smaller stakes table, and we're going to lose 1 buy-in at the bigger stakes table. Running it even. That's not the name of the show, JCarver. I'm sorry. I wish you had told me sooner. I will probably play for another, I'll say another orbit or so, and hopefully hopefully this ended up being about 30 minutes of a video. And I will basically just be restarting this video so you guys won't miss any hands at all. I'm basically going to just be rolling it into the next session, and we'll see how it goes. I feel like I'm probably only going to do a 2-episode session of this 2-tabling thing, and then we'll see how it goes. If the tables are good, or, you know, if I'm feeling like we're rolling, maybe I won't. Looks like nobody is winning at this table besides the big Nana. Big cat Nana over there, just raking it all in with her $500. Just, that's it. Every hand. Give it over. All right. We are joined by an alien. I wonder if that is the one and only. It is UFO. Another great name avatar combo, by the way. All right. Let's see a flop. King 3 of spades certainly can call profitably, getting 2 to 1. Exactly. Let's see 3, dealer. Not the best 3 I would have asked for. Gonna start with a check. Maybe there is some chance we win this pot. I don't hate the idea of like check raising if we wanted, but I'm not check raising against the pot size bet. That does not seem like a super profitable play. Actually, he bet more than pot even. So, and we won 75 cents with our pocket queens. Holla! That's right. No way. It's ballin'. All right, on the right table, looks like Corey Matthews decided to limp over there. It would be hilarious if that was the Corey Matthews. Isn't that the guy from Saved by the Bell? The guy who looks kind of like me, if you like really like peer your eyes narrowly. Pretty good flop for us, all things considered. Actually, either flop would have been excellent for us. Gonna start the bet on both tables. I was betting over there, and this was a pot that I raised. He limped, I raised on the right table. So starting with a bet over there. 8 of hearts would be one of the cards that I would say is not the best for us. I actually don't hate the idea of betting and then, you know, betting and doing something, because when it goes check, it's very, very sad for us. Let's see what happens, though. On the left table, I raised pre, bet on the flop, and then turned to pair, which is probably actually good enough to get us to continue here. We beat Jack 10 and all other straight draws and ace highs and things like that, although I guess we lose to like Queen X and 9X enough we can just fold if we really want to. I don't know enough about that player to really be sure. On the right table, we're certainly not going to fold just yet, although I am worried. 3 of diamonds is fairly bricky. We could definitely lose, though. I think I'm actually going to make a tighter fold on the left table there. We do take it down with our pocket 9s. The king 3 fold on the turn, you know, we against players that are playing straightforwardly, I think it's completely and totally fine to just fold. It's a tighter fold, but it's fine. Tight is right, people. Tight is might, people. Anyway, yeah, that's what this is too. Might, yeah. It's the tickets to the gun show. What we're talking about? talking about the three. Oh, yeah. Against people that play straightforwardly, I think that check folding turn has to be fine, right? Because against people that are playing ABC straightforward poker, when the flop comes queen, 9, and 9, and somebody bets, if they have nothing, or like, you know, worse than king 3, or a pair of 3s even, if they have worse than a pair of 3s on a 9-9 queen flop, usually they'll just say you got it. So if they're playing straightforwardly and they continue on a queen 9-9 flop, they are saying they have something. So obviously something could be jack 10, but if he has jack 10 and I have king 3 on a queen 9-9 3 board, it's not exactly a power position for us. And if he has us beat and he is playing straightforwardly and he has hands like a 9 or any queen, pocket 10s, you know, any of those types of hands, then we're just in real bad shape. So I think it makes sense to play the hands the way that we did. So I'm going to wrap the session up. I guess we're not going to get to a point where we're like both in the big blinds on both tables. So I'm going to wrap this episode up right here. If you guys enjoyed this multi-tabling session, please let me know about it in the comments below and on Twitter, twitter.com/Jason Somerville. Don't forget, you also can subscribe. Well, there's lots of ways you can follow Run It Up. RunItUp.com. You can always check for all your Run It Up needs. RunItUp.tv. If you have friends that want to go, hey, I want to learn Run It Up. You go, well, you can always find Run It Up on RunItUp.tv. I'm going to make that always point to wherever Run It Up is most occurring. So you can always check that out there. And I'll be back tomorrow with the continuation of this session. We'll see if we can learn some lessons and do some reckons. All right, I'll see you guys back for more tomorrow. Peace. Up episode number 212. You know, what can you do? We want to make some money, you know? Money. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I raise it 1386. He stacks it out. All the pennies. Eat it. Eat it. Excuse me. I actually won the main event in 1888.